This is Liam Perkins, and this is my 5 to 7 minute video response to chapter 18 of QBQ, The Question Behind the Question, by John G. Miller. This book is a document on practicing personal accountability at work and in your own life. This piece of literature goes over the real questions to ask yourself to eliminate blame, victim thinking, complaining, and procrastinating. This book was very simple in whole and in concept. However, I tend to make our own lives, my life, much more difficult than we need to because of the IQs we ask. This book was challenging in many ways. It calls its reader to take the time each day to take personal responsibility for your everyday life and in the workplace. In chapter 18 specifically, John G. Miller speaks about ownership and how it does not require having an equity stake or holding an official position of leadership. You can obtain accountability in its purest form through ownership. Growing up, I always played a sport per season as required by my father, to eliminate all the energy I always had in a healthy way. One day, we were having a practice and everyone was playing awful. All of our spirits were down from getting beat badly by our rival high school. As the captain and someone who held a position of leadership, my coach pulled me aside and said, "Take ownership of this team. They need you." With my spirit also low, my coach inspired me to step up and be the change we all needed and that he wanted to see. To me, taking ownership is about acting like it's yours, or rather, acting like it belongs to God, because, well, it does. Would you slack off for even a second if it was Jesus who was your boss? Would you put your feet up on Jesus' table during a meal? In the same way, I can take ownership and therefore a position of leadership in my own life and in my profession. Ownership, in John G. Miller's own words, is facing problems head on instead of complaining. Sometimes all you have to do is step up and not join in on the complaining at all, and lead by example. Ask the questions, what can I do to make things better, and how can I help and be of service? I like how John Miller puts it, that commitment of the head plus commitment of the heart plus commitment of the hands gets you to the solution of your current problem. Another piece of literature, which name can't be said, but it was a New York Times bestseller, is a novel about empowering oneself. It is BS free. It offers an honest, no-nonsense, tough love approach to help you move past self-imposed limitations. It says things like, I am willing, I am wired to win, I got this, I embrace the uncertainty, I am not my thoughts, I am what I do, I am relentless, I expect nothing and accept everything. Now, reading that before I read QBQ, had me in a really good place. However, with my current QBQs constantly going on inside of my head, these statements tend to sound something more like, I am willing to serve. I am wired to act. I got this because God first loved me. I embrace the uncertainty that all things work together for the good of those that love Him and who are called according to His purpose. I am not my thoughts. I am what I do. But discipline your thoughts because they become your actions. Change takes action. Changing is taking, knowing what to do, and changing it into doing what we know. In whole, this book was very challenging in many ways. I'm glad that I read it and hope that I'm able to continue to live life moving forward, being a person who asks the QBQs.